قد سمعنا وأطعنا وعلى الحق اجتمعنا قد سمعنا وأطعنا وعلى الحق اجتمعنا وكتاب الله معنا وهدى الهادي محمد وكتاب الله معنا وهدى الهادي محمد
This is
Revive FM
94.0 with the latest news from around the world.
From the Sky News Centre at 5, the Taliban's accused the United States of arrogance after the 9/11 terror attacks, claiming there was no need for war. The group's been meeting to discuss how it'll move forward in running Afghanistan after declaring independence from Western troops. Major Kevin Oakes from the US Air Force is helping process tens of thousands of Afghan nationals in Qatar who wanted to flee Taliban rule.
I'm just happy to be a part. This mission probably is one of the best, most rewarding missions I've ever had when it comes to just taking care of the travelers.
A government minister says the greater good needs to be considered after an alpaca was seized from a farm and killed by vets. Geronimo's owner's been fighting to keep him alive despite positive tests for tuberculosis. Nicola Sturgeon says making the Scottish Parliament independent from Westminster is the best way to protect it. The First Minister made the claim as she asked MSPs to approve the appointment of 2 Scottish Green members to the government. Reports of a new tax on disposable nappies have been rubbished by Downing Street. It was claimed a move was being considered to encourage the use of reusable ones. Britain's Paralympians have had another medal-filled day in Tokyo. Dame Sarah Storey's become GB's joint most successful Paralympian of all time, taking gold in the women's C5 cycling time trial. Ben Watson won the men's C3 time trial, completing a 5-year journey from an overweight chartered surveyor.
It's been an amazing sort of lifestyle switch from working, sat in an office, to this here today. It's taken a lot of work and a lot of support from loads and loads of people behind the scenes. It'll go nowhere towards paying back sacrifices and the work that people have given me. However, it goes a little bit way towards that.
And an advert for the dating show Naked Attraction is being pulled from London buses. It follows claims an arrow pointing at a seat saying this person likes to be naked could lead to sexual abuse. That's the latest. I'm Fraser Knight.
This is Revive FM 94.0.
Reviving communities.
The views expressed on this program do not necessarily represent those of Revive FM or its management.
Hello. You're listening to Revive FM. My name is Henry Scott. I'm here in the studio with my wonderful co-host,
Tom Hutchinson.
And that's right. It's a welcome from me to you, to all of us in East London.
Smooth.
What do you mean? Like,
I was
chuckling?
a welcome from me to you, from you to me, to all of you out there.
And obviously, it's our penultimate show on Tom and Hutch, Scott and Hutch, Tom and Hutch.
Tom and
That's
Hutch.
You, Tom and Hutch.
Me and the multiple
and
voices
Scott.
in my head.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, it's a penultimate show for us today, and as it's already started out very well.
Exactly. We start as we wish to continue, and also we have to say, well, as you mentioned, it coming into the studio today. Not only is it our
We're both not talking.
Penultimate show. I promise I've not been celebrating Paralympics GB like the equestrian team did last night on the last leg. It is actually the anniversary of our first show.
Yes, it is the anniversary of our first show. Exactly a year ago today, me and Tom were on radio with each other for the first time.
Yeah, we recorded in our home studios, which we might add was actually my dining room, but we did keep 2 meters apart because that's what we
were
had to at the
socially
time. Yeah,
distant.
we were socially distanced,
But
and
wasn't it lovely?
it was brilliant. And
we
then
had a great first show. I'm actually preparing lots of little snippets for
you're
our
not.
last show next week. Yeah,
you're gonna
I
make
am.
me cry, aren't you?
I am.
No.
There's gonna be it's gonna be quite soppy.
Oh, mate.
But mate, you honestly, I could not have asked for a better partner in crime to come on the radio with.
Damn
me
it.
For a year, honestly.
Do you know what? Honestly, I mean, I have to say from the bottom of my heart, honestly, I've made a great friend out of this.
No.
Thank you so much for having me. This is tit for tat now. Thank you for having me on as your new co-host. I've loved every single second of it, and I've even got to say thank you for having me and Elise on back in February before the world went sideways as a guest. It was. Honestly,
a lot of fun.
Yeah, I've never laughed so hard in my life. It was a great experience. I got to it was a bit cathartic as well. I was telling my story and everything, and I don't know if I'm going to carry this on or not. I've got an idea of something I might do off the back of this.
I don't know if you're staying. I am staying.
You are staying
on Revive FM.
Yeah, and
I'll be doing an hourly show just about something. I'm deciding on a format at the minute. It's either going to be an issue and then a 15-minute chat with a stranger, or I'm just going to do 15-minute chats with strangers. And I'm just going to go out
and that's your show
and
title,
sit
right
down. 15-minute chats with strangers.
Yeah,
I think that's what I'd like to do.
That could be your title of your podcast.
That's what I was. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. See, great minds. But now, honestly, I think that you've got such a. I'm not going to blow smoke at your backside, but I'm just being honest here. I think you've got such a great way of connecting with people. I think you can get people interested in, whether it's politics, climate change, anything like that. I'm glad that you're staying on Revive FM because I think.
Well, I hope you don't leave.
Do you know what it is? When you're not here, I find it a bit tricky to carry a show on my own.
That's don't get me wrong. I find it the same.
Yeah.
I think this is something we should talk about. And it's doing live radio. There's our first topic for today. And doing live radio on your own is incredibly difficult.
Yeah.
What is it? Several times I've been asked to come in and do an interview. Like I did an interview with Sam Terry, who's an MP for Ilford North. Did one with the police Met Commissioner, and they're usually the guests are always either busy or they're doing things or they're late, which is fine. But to try and carry a show for 20 minutes when you haven't prepared anything is quite difficult. And
it can be.
But do you know what? I think there's something so special about our show because we bounce off each other so well.
Yeah.
And regardless of I know we get distracted and confused sometimes.
Just a bit. We've got the we've got the Ronnie Corbett's about us, shall we say, when it comes to talking about things. But I think at the end of the day, when all said and done, we are the heart of this show is two blokes having a laugh, and hopefully we're making you laugh at home, in your car, on FM, on YouTube, on Facebook, in your fridge, apparently, as I'm in there every week. And we just hope that you've enjoyed it. And because I know we've certainly enjoyed making it. And we have such a giggle when we do these things, whether it's like doing games, doing magic tricks, my terrible jokes, which I sometimes have to explain as to why they should be funny and not. And it would be nice to carry on. I won't lie. I think I will carry on, but I need to obviously think of some formats.
Sort of format,
And
well, to be honest, what we could do is, obviously we'll discuss this with the powers that be.
Oh yes.
But you do an hour, I do an hour. We just do it separately, and we still keep it our Scott and Hutch time.
We could do
exactly.
Yeah. It could be an idea. Remote,
exactly.
like a home away from home show.
But honestly, it has been truly. I could go on like this forever. It's truly.
And I could let you. No, I'm joking.
It's truly been an honor.
Thank you, mate. Honestly,
to have such a wonderful co-host with me for the past year and a bit. And next week will be our last show together for some time. Who knows?
And we've also I'm going to throw this out to everybody who's watching and listening as well. Get in touch with us on our Instagram. So mine is at official Tommy H. Yours is Henry VJ Scott. Let us know just what you've enjoyed about the show, whether it's the games, the music, the your mate Fergal who kicks a swan every week.
Yeah,
I mean the relentless avian assaults. Whatever you've enjoyed, just let us know, and then maybe we can try and bring some of that back. Also, just anything that you want us to talk about next week as well would be quite nice, because I've got a little something which I told you about the other week. So I think for our last show, we need to come up with a song that we think best describes us. So so I've already got my one. I think you need to come up with it, and then I think we we have to end on a bit of Frankie Sinatra, don't you think? We've got to end on a bit of My Way because that's how we did this show, wasn't it? We did it our way.
I don't think BBC or LBC would have us because we are quite unique in our presenting style.
I got to be honest with you. I think that we're beyond them. I think
we are actually, because one thing I don't like is the perspective and how they essentially LBC tells us what they lead Britain's conversation, and personally I think it should be led by listeners,
exactly,
not by presenters.
LBL. Hey, we can start a radio station. LBL, led by listeners.
Now you're on to something. Anyway, last week. Me and Tom were chatting about the news.
Yes.
So that means it's time to chat about
the news.
On FM.
On YouTube.
Facebook.
Every Tuesday from 5 to 7.
Henry Scott and Tom Hutchinson.
Keeping you in the loop. On Revive FM.
That's right. It's time to talk about the news.
I mean, we've been doing it for the past 53 weeks. Why break the tradition just because we're finishing next week?
Exactly. We always talk about the news.
Exactly.
And I say we always do a very good job of it. So, Geronimo the alpaca has been killed.
Yes. It's now something sort of like Grip the Nation, isn't it?
But I don't understand. This is the first time I've heard about this. Have I just been under a rock?
Basically, there's been an outbreak of bovine tuberculosis.
Yeah.
So Geronimo the alpaca has tested positive for this thing multiple times.
Yeah.
And so they're saying that, to stop it spreading to other animals, other livestock on this farm, Geronimo's got to go.
What is bovine tuberculosis?
I would imagine it's not like foot and mouth or mad cow disease or anything. I think it's another sort of disease, but I don't think they're concerned about it jumping to humans. It's just the fact that they're trying to almost stamp it out. But the owner of the alpaca has basically been saying that they almost feel like that DEFRA and the tests have been sort of fabricated in their favor. So it's almost like they're trying to, and I just feel like, well, hang on, if that's the case, they would be wanting to cull hundreds of animals. Why just one alpaca?
Well, no, but that's I feel like that's a bit of a bordering on a conspiracy theory. DEFRA is not stupid.
Yeah,
I think it's just purposefully because people are upset that an alpaca is being killed. And the thing is, this happens all the time in the wild, and it's not something that people should be too concerned about. This is a natural part of keeping livestock and animals and people safe.
Yeah.
And I think I think it's a sad fact that obviously an alpaca has had to die due to this nasty illness. And would we treat humans in the same way? No, of course we wouldn't. But like we have it in this pandemic, somebody with COVID has not been shot in this country. They've been given adequate medical care and quarantined. But this is an alpaca. It seems to be that there's just no way for anything to happen. The temporary injunction's been stopped, and the situation is now over. And I reckon this will not be revisited in the news cycle ever again.
Yeah, I mean, well, there was the owners, the alpaca's owner, Ms. McDonald, actually spoke to the media and to ministers and called on the Environment Secretary, George Eustace, to, quote, come out here and talk to me and explain the actions. She wasn't present when the animal was removed, but said, I would have been prosecuted for obstruction if I failed to catch Geronimo myself. She said, I'm not going to put my hands on a healthy animal and allow the government to murder him. She also claimed that the government had manipulated Geronimo's test to, quote, suit their agenda. And she also tweeted...
What agenda is that?
Exactly. So she's got DEFRA...
I just feel that's ridiculous.
Yeah. We're asking once again on an urgent meeting with George Eustace, please don't execute Geronimo, and at Boris Johnson, stop this now. Geronimo is healthy.
Yeah, I disagree.
Yeah.
There's no some sort of big ideal agenda. What does the government have to win by killing an alpaca?
Yeah. I mean,
it's, like what? What's the world coming to?
I know but I don't get it because I suppose, is it the fact that no other animals have been on the farm have been infected of it?
I don't know. But yeah, it seems a bit silly. I mean, obviously upsetting for the owner who obviously loves her alpacas, but at the same time,
What's the government conspiracy about it?
That just seems a bit silly to me.
Yeah, I find that very, very, very odd. I mean, it's a shame, but I'll be honest. I did see a video that was released a little while ago, and I tell you what, if he was unhealthy, he had some legs on him. That's all I'll say, because he. So all the DEFRA agents are out in this field trying to, probably trying to get OBEs. That's why they were trying to stand up, be outstanding in the field for so long. And he dodged. I saw that smile. He basically dodged them all and then legged it just before he was executed. I don't think they shot him. I don't know what they did, if they gave him an injection or whatever. I don't know, and frankly I don't want to know. But I just thought, you know what, one last run, why not? And he literally outpaced about 17 DEFRA agents. I just thought, okay,
alpacas are quite fast.
Yeah, I mean he dare I say it, he bolted. It was really quite a sight to see.
Animals tend to know what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I've got to be honest with you. When I watched, I know it's not exactly the same. Going off on a tangent. I mean, why not? I was watching Chicken Run years ago, and there's the bit where Jane Horrocks' one goes. She's going to get put into the pie, and then she goes, "Oh, my whole life flashed before my eyes. It were really boring."
Yeah,
I'll be honest, it put me off chicken pies for months.
But here's the thing. The top speed of an alpaca is 35 miles an hour. So that would have given good explanation as to why the DEFRA agents struggled to capture Geronimo.
Do you want to hear something really sad?
What?
That was the top speed of my first bike with me on it.
Yeah, but that's not bad.
Actually, I tell you, it was 30 miles an hour. So what you're saying is, basically, my first bike could have been outrun by an alpaca.
Yes. So, I mean,
that was a good advert for Zontes Tigers.
Obviously, the capturing of Geronimo the alpaca was apparently something very sad. But I think this is just
it's a shame. I mean, the fact is now, I suppose it's happened, and whatever the outcome is, whatever they kept doing. But I suppose if the test kept come back negative, I don't think that this is kind of a thing against alpacas. I don't know. Are we now sort of, is this like an alpaca cull in the UK? I don't get it. I might be wrong. I mean, if someone is obviously, is listening to this and would like to explain a little bit further, maybe we're missing something, please, feel free to contact the studio. So what is our number again, Mr. Scott?
It's 0333
444
09
40.
That's 0333
444
09
4. You got me doing it. 0940.
0333 444 0940.
That's it.
Me and Tom actually would like to hear from you guys.
Yeah.
We don't. We don't really hear from you a lot recently.
Exactly.
Before lockdown, we were hearing from you.
Yeah, exactly. Is it just a case of I know we had a captive audience before, literally, but it's nice. This is one of the things that we're saying about. This is also one of the reasons why I'm considering about staying on. Is we don't hear from people. So
exactly.
Get in touch with us. That's what we know. Otherwise, we are just, as much as we are two blokes having a laugh, we are two blokes here effectively talking to ourselves. So please get in touch. Give us some of your conversation.
Yes, please.
Let's pick up some dog do of chat on Conversation Street. How about that? No,
they don't do that anymore.
So I suppose they don't, do they? I mean, it's very hard for one of them to bend down.
Well, I mean, a couple other things. To be honest, the news hasn't been that interesting this week, apart from the fact that the last US soldier
has pulled out of Afghanistan.
Exactly, and there's been lots of analysis about how the geopolitical stage is now set for the USA to lose its sort of world presence.
Yeah,
and also apparently may have seriously damaged the UK-US relationship.
It's a worry. I mean, they're saying as well that I know Dominic Raab has admitted, he says that it will be a challenge for nationals, for British nationals that are left in Afghanistan to now try and find a route out of the UK. So he said that it was unclear when the Kabul airport would be opening again to the public. Mr. Raab also advised those still seeking to leave the country that if they could find a legal route via neighbouring countries. He seems to think that, or he said that since April, more than 17,000 British nationals, Afghans, and Afghans who worked in the UK and other vulnerable people have been evacuated from the country. But of those UK nationals who were still left in Afghanistan, Mr. Raab admitted that there were low hundreds remaining. asked whether his advice to those UK nationals still in Afghanistan will be for them to head across to one of the country's borders. He said it depends on if they are eligible or not. And of course, we're in contact with those countries to enable to establish that. It's been more difficult because we don't have the base at the airport. Certainly, if they were eligible British nationals, there are embassies in those third countries, whether it's Pakistan or one of the stands presented on how British nationals in Afghanistan might reach one of those borders. It's now currently it's unclear because obviously the whole nation or the whole country is now under Taliban control. There's also, I don't know if you saw it off the back of it as well. There's a video's come out of of an Afghan news presenter. I don't know. Have you seen this?
No. What are you on about?
So there's a TV presenter who was surrounded by Taliban fighters carrying AK-47s as he conducted an interview with one of the group's commanders. And the real ironic thing was that the sign above the little desk and the set was called the quote peace studio.
Right.
I mean I've got to be honest with you. Seeing two blokes with AK-47s and
wasn't Tony Blair the UN ambassador envoy for peace?
I mean, I really hope not.
No, I think he is.
Cool. Prime Minister Bolsonaro.
There are some things that don't make much sense, are there?
Well, that's one of them. I mean, having a peace studio and two blokes with AK-47s. I mean, it's a bit of an oxymoron, isn't it? It's got the video shows, and I hope I say the name right here. If not, I apologise.
That was it. He was the Middle East peace envoy for the UN, and he resigned in 2015.
Oh well, so they say, okay, see, I should have stayed out there because look what's happened now. No thanks. The video, there's a video that's going around online. It's of the TV presenter Mirawaz Hadari Hadoust, who is from an Afghan TV, sitting on a desk with a row of Taliban soldiers behind him and holding their guns close to their chests and pointing towards the floor. He was interviewing one of the group's commanders, Kari Samiullah, for the channel's special program Parads at the time. Starting off the segment by introducing him, the presenter goes on to explain that there has been some criticism that there is a difference between the words and the actions of the Taliban. The people demand that the commitments and actions of the Taliban must be the same. Mr. Samullah used the interview to urge Afghans to not worry at all and ask them to remain in the country. He then said, God willing, we will try to establish a safe atmosphere. I mean, safe atmosphere with two blokes on AK-47s. That's all I'm saying. In all the provinces of Afghanistan, so that the people do not worry and do not fear the Mujahideen because they are our brothers, he said. Together with them, we will build the homeland.
I mean, the thing is, we've got to go to a break, but I mean, we obviously do need to carry that on after. We do need to keep discussing Afghanistan because that is a situation which is evolving rapidly.
Yeah.
And it'll be interesting to see how the Taliban government in charge of Afghanistan now chooses to shape and mold their country, especially in times of what is now an economic crisis as well as a humanitarian one.
Yeah.
So we're going to get back to that at any moment. Please do stay tuned as me and Tom will be right back after this.
Waris Food Store, the place to go for all your meat and groceries. We stock thousands of items from fresh fruit and veg to all your favourite Ramadan food products. Based at 420 Hoe Street in Walthamstow, we can deliver anything you need right to your doorstep. Just give us a call on 0208 521 0000. Waris Food Stores is now also available on Uber Eats.
ये आयशा है। ये बहुत छोटी सी थी जब इसके वालिद का एक हादसे में इंतकाल हो गया। वो अपनी माँ और छोटे बहन भाइयों के साथ रहती है। आयशा जैसी लाखों बच्चियां जिंदगी की बुनियादी सहूलतों से बिल्कुल महरूम है। यही वजह है कि वो स्कूल भी नहीं जा सकती। मिनहाज वेलफेयर फाउंडेशन ने आपकी एहतियात और अपनी खिदमत दुनिया भर के यतीम और बेसहारा बच्चों के लिए वक्फ कर दी है। एक यतीम और बेसहारा बच्चे का सहारा बनिए। आज ही अतिया कीजिए।
अभी कॉल मिला 0300 3030 या हमारी वेबसाइट विजिट करें www.minhajwelfare.org.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jyoti Sood. Let's face it, lockdown has left many of us carrying some extra weight. But extra weight can put pressure on our bodies, making it harder to fight diseases like cancer, heart disease, and type 2 diabetes. So now is a great time for us to get our weight on track. The Better Health website has lots of free tools and tips to get you started. So for help and support to lose weight, search Better Health. Let's do this.
With over 40 years' experience in the industry, Plachette Carpets is the place to go for all your carpets, laminates, linos, and wood flooring. We have an established network of suppliers, which means we can offer some of the best prices in town. We offer free estimates, free measurements, and now even free fitting. Call us now on 0208 472 8568 or visit us at 157 Plachette Road, Upton Park, London, E13 0QZ.
Let's connect with the Holy Quran. Minhaj Dawah Project distributes the Holy Quran in plain simple English for free. You can donate £3 and sponsor a Quran to a loved one, a neighbour, a colleague or a friend. We distribute Qurans totally free of charge across the whole UK, including in prisons. Please call us now to contribute on 0300 030 1951 or email us on dawah@minhajuk.org.
Taj Grill invites you to the world of Pakistani cuisine. With every dish prepared to perfection, why not try our sizzling mixed grill, our famous masala fish, or choose from our selection of freshly made curries and allow the Taj Grill experience to speak for itself. Visit us at 72 Ilford Lane or 508 Ilford High Road or call 0208 262 6476. We also offer catering for all your events. Call us for more information.
If you want to advertise your business on Revive FM, then visit www.revivefm.co.uk or contact our sales team now on 07944 565616. That's 07944 565616. Advertise with Revive FM.
Revive FM.
94.0. On the radio.
On your mobile.
And online.
Hello. You're listening to Revive FM, and you're here in the studio with myself, Henry Scott, and my wonderful co-host,
Sam Hutchinson.
And now it's time to talk about the news.
On FM.
On YouTube.
Facebook.
Under your bed.
In your closet.
And we're hiding in your fridge.
Hello. Henry Scott and Tom Hutchinson bring you the news.
On Revive FM.
That's right. It's our favourite jingle made by yours truly.
Oh, yes.
And it's now time to talk about the one of the geopolitical issues of the matter, and it's to talk about Afghanistan.
Yes.
The Federal Aviation Administration in the USA stated recently that Kabul Airport is now without air traffic control services now that the US military has been withdrawn from Afghanistan, and US civil aircraft are now barred from operating over the country unless given prior authorization by the US FAA. They said in a statement, that due to both the lack of air traffic services and functional civilian aviation authority in Afghanistan, as well as ongoing security concerns, US civil operators, pilots, and US registered air civil aircraft are prohibited from operating any altitude over much of Afghanistan. This was all due, of course, to the withdrawal of the US troops, with the last troop leaving the other day. Taliban was obviously pictured celebrating with this. And we're obviously here to bring you more updates.
Firing guns in the air, weren't they?
It's quite funny because obviously all the aircraft were being maintained by 16,000 civilian contractors provided by the US and the UK and the coalition that had been in Afghanistan, and the Taliban are actually without any sort of aircraft support. They don't have any pilots.
Yeah,
where are they going to learn?
Yeah, I mean, because this is what I was thinking of. Like, so everyone's basically try to get out of the country because they're I mean, let's call a spade here. They are terrified of what the Taliban are going to do now running the country. I mean, they've taken all right, whether you think that we were there, whether us being there and the Americans being there was a good thing or not, I kind of like to think in my little world of sunshine and rainbows that we hopefully we did a little something good. Hopefully we kind of trained.
We did.
We gave a little bit of infrastructure there to say, look, here's what you can do, but you've got to help yourselves. And now I think where the Taliban's gone, they're not going to have that infrastructure. And again, I don't mean this in a negative way or to cause a ruffle anyone's feathers, but I believe that the majority of them are illiterate. They haven't had any sort of formal education. They've almost been born and bred into this. How are they going to get jobs in air traffic control? How are they going to land planes? I mean,
there used to be
work,
in Afghanistan. There used to be a very large motorway that ran around the entire country, but it was never ever maintained, and that was because we never actually the Afghani government never actually controlled much outside the Kabul region, the capital, and they also never had control over multiple regions of Afghanistan throughout this entire 20-year war. So when the USA gave the money to go and build a road, the road was built, but it sometimes couldn't be built in certain areas and usually would get blown up or destroyed or fall into disrepair. And it's because government employees were unable to actually repair the road due to the Taliban resistance. So in terms of infrastructure, the country is in a lot better place than it was before. But I will say, currently, Afghanistan is going through a financial shock because all of the supplies that the US was sending Afghanistan are no longer there. So when it comes to in a sort of general Afghani economy, it's going really badly. Prices of lentils have doubled from apparently 60 cents a kilo to $1.20. And this is all just before even inflation hits. Also, $40 billion of international reserves and bonds have been frozen by foreign nations as they seek to establish some sort of proper government to stop money from disappearing, because it's very easy for, obviously,
Well, and also it could indirectly be financing terrorism. That's the thing. So obviously, if this is the Taliban of old, whether you want to go down that route or not, I suppose international governments and aid organisations are going to want to freeze their money because they don't know who they're going to be giving it to. Is this going to be the new shiny Taliban that promises that women will be encouraged to seek education and work and things like that, or is it going to be the old ones where we're going to flog people, behead them, and do unspeakable things, that don't bear thinking of? So I suppose they will sort of hold their money for the time being, but I as much as you don't want to say it, it's going to only time will tell how things are going to look out there. So it's a bit of a worry, really, isn't it? I mean,
it is very worrying.
Like gone backwards like 20 years. I feel like we're sort of getting ready for another sort of, dare I say it, another sort of war on terror again.
But I personally don't think a war on terror is going to happen. I don't think there's the appetite for it politically. There's not I don't know if there's the political will. Do you think?
I don't know. I think that, to be honest with you, I think that where we are, I'm not just saying that we've got to look out for ourselves, because I think that's a terrible thing to say. There are people who are suffering outside the world. If we've got a little bit left over, whether it's cut the pence or cut the million or whatever, help them out. But I feel like at the minute, where obviously we've done the whole Brexit thing and our economy's kind of on a little bit of a bit of a hoe, but a little bit of a knife edge. I feel like if Boris and Dominic Raab and all those others start going, we need to now start thinking about going overseas and maybe spending money on another war. I think that will be the final. That will be the final nail in their coffin. I think they need to kind of focus on what they're doing in the UK, make sure that they're giving aid out, doing the responsible thing, giving aid out where it's needed. But I think that their right thing would be just to primarily focus on the UK and getting the UK sorted, whether that's a case of balancing the books out after the pandemic, making sure that the people who do come over here as part of the resettlement scheme are not going to be like, say, the Windrush 2.0 people. They're going to actually be settled. They're going to be integrated. They're going to be made sure that they've got jobs, they've got accommodation, their family's going to be looked after. That's what I think Boris and the boys and girls need to be doing at the minute, I think.
Well, I mean, the thing is, when it comes to that kind of thing, there's always that situation is the conversation regularly comes up is, well, why are we sending money overseas? I'd rather be using that to build NHS hospitals. But I think in terms of a diplomatic sense, we're now global Britain.
Yeah.
And if you can't have global Britain that only looks after itself,
exactly,
you can have global Britain that does diplomatic missions and does its best to get out in the world and do things. And I also found out that in terms of Afghanistan, international aid to the government, which has obviously been propped up by the US, has made up for 40% of between 10 and 20% of gross domestic product. So
10%, so 10 to 20% of what we've produced in the UK has gone overseas.
No. That's 10 to 20% of Afghanistan's gross domestic product has gone has been as foreign aid.
Oh right. Oh
Yeah.
wow.
So
countries really have been
been propping up an Afghanistan government. And the thing is, Afghanistan as a nation, I've been reading a lot about this. It's actually quite interesting. There is not one majority demographic in Afghanistan.
Oh, really?
Everyone is a minority. Even the largest minority only makes up 46%.
Wow.
There's a power vacuum and there's no money in Kabul. It's quite problematic for a lot of Afghans who have also been protesting in Kabul. Nobody can get their money out to the bank and nobody's being paid. So the economic crisis is worrying. I think that's the main concern now, is if the economy of Afghanistan collapses, what happens to the 37 million people living there?
Yeah, I mean, they're going to be. I mean, let's be honest. It's not like a sort of a, a former sort of like, let's say like Azerbaijan, for example, which just sort of has just experienced this boom over the last 10, 20 years. These guys, and again, I don't mean this in a horrible way, they've not got a lot to go for them. They've got it's manufacturing. I don't think they do a lot of. It's mostly sort of poppy fields and things like that, which obviously goes to make illicit substances. I don't really know what they can do, really. I mean, it's they've got nothing to actually produce to give, if that makes sense. Nothing to do.
Exactly. Well, I mean, the thing is, there's a large in part is there's some of the failures of Afghanistan in terms of helping the country rebuild. Is they could have the USA could have helped farmers in Afghanistan grow cotton. Cotton would have grown supposedly very well in the vast majority in the fields in regional Afghanistan. But due to US competition laws, it is illegal for the US military to assist any other foreign nation that would then create things that would threaten US farmers on a global market, which they certainly would, due to low costs of labor and the vastness of goods. So just in terms of, the whole framework that the US military and the US government operates behind was exactly why the country, yes, it made strides in women's education. Yes, it made strides in GDP. But it didn't make any strides since then. And I'm not an expert. I've just been reading loads of different papers.
It's a shame that they couldn't almost do like not like an embargo, but almost like a sort of well, look, we can help you out with this, but either limit the amount of imports that they can do. Let's say, for example, if they did cotton, all right, we can help you out, but as a kind of a, for competition or reasons or whatever, we can only import, let's say, I don't know, 1% or 10% of whatever you produce, so that way it's not enough. And then they have to get it from other places. And that way it kind of keeps competition down. But then if the UK doesn't do it, say we could then import more from them. It's a shame that they couldn't. I know it's very rough sort of thing, but just as a way of sort of helping them out. But then also that way it kind of keeps the competition going for everybody, if that makes sense. So it's a shame that they couldn't sort of come up with something like that. But I suppose it's also like the there was the whole thing with the Afghan government, the Afghan soldiers, that they were all trained up, but they had no national pride. They just, for lack of a better term, they couldn't be asked.
Yeah, well, I don't think it was that. People weren't getting paid. There was corruption. The contractors that were keeping the planes and all the military equipment going were taken away when the US pulled out.
Yeah, and they left everything there.
Imagine if all the civilian contractors that were propping up the UK military just left. The soldiers would go, well, we can't do anything. And then somebody said, well, we're not paying your wages.
Yeah.
And then your wages weren't getting paid. Are you going to work for free? Are you going to fight for king and country? Or you don't know, hold on a minute. You don't have a king and your country is pretty divided as it is because some of them are for the Taliban.
Government. Yeah.
And you're fighting for a government that doesn't really represent you, or you don't really know them as well.
Yeah.
So why bother?
I see your point. I mean, it's just a shame, really. I mean, and it's also the worrying thing that, like I said, all those military contractors have left all that equipment there.
So the Taliban,
missiles.
If the Taliban becomes an established nation, right, and they actually get full control and they establish a government, etc., then the US has basically just gifted them $85 billion worth of US prime military equipment.
Yeah. It's the same. Yeah. Do you know what? And again, another, Ronnie Corbett sort of offshoot. It's exactly the same as, to put it in perspective, right? So for those who don't follow Formula One, okay, and bear with me on this one because
I really am going to have to bear with you.
This will kind of make sense, all right? So there's a team at the moment called Red Bull. They have a Honda engine in their car because they don't make their own.
I thought they were Mercedes.
No, never. Or that would never happen. Mercedes won't even give them an engine because it's too much competition. But basically, Red Bull and Honda have said, right, we're leaving Formula One at the end of this year. They do it all the time. They leave, go away for a couple of years, come back. So the long and the short of it is Honda are developing at great expense their own engine, okay, which they will give to Red Bull for the rest of the season. And then next year, they're going to pump in $100 million for this Red Bull engine, as they're going to call it, which is basically a Honda engine with a different badge on it. But if Honda wins a championship or anything like that, they're going to get no kickback from that. They're literally going to spend $100 million to build this engine that's not even going to have their name on it. And they can't advertise, champions of Honda, Formula One with the best engine in the world. That's kind of the same as what the US government's done. They've left all this kit here, at Kabul airport. If the Taliban get their hands on it, they've kind of done all the work there. The Taliban's just gone in and taken everything. And I'm not saying that the Americans are going to get no recognition for it, but basically it's a similar sort of, you know what I mean? It's kind of a very similar sort of similar principle that someone else has gone in and done all the work. Taliban's coming in and just going to take everything. And now the US has kind of just equipped an army, which God forbid could go against them. So have I sort of completely missed the mark here? But you know what I mean?
You're spot on.
They're basically using US equipment, which will then be cast as, Afghanistan.
Well, you see, look, they've already got access to it because you see soldiers, you see Taliban special forces, and they're holding M14s and body armor that's US, and they're holding all the glasses are US issued spec.
Well, they're even
everything they're wearing is US issued spec.
Well, have you seen? There's the picture as well that they're now in the US. There was a UK general or UK secretary's office, right? They had like a UK policeman's hat. I think there was some sort of beaver hat, from the Queen's Guards. And there's a bunch of Taliban soldiers, Taliban fighters there in this office, and they've just taken the whole lot. And like you say, I saw a couple of M12 assault rifles the other day when I was at Silverstone, because obviously they have to have police and security there. I'm not going to lie to you. If the Taliban had got those, I was terrified just looking at them with coppers. If I see the Taliban with them, I'm running a mile, mate. Because it's a bit of a worry, but you just hope that either they're not going to be able to realize how to use all the equipment, or I don't know, either it might go wrong. But I suppose either way, they're going to get the weapons somehow, aren't they? But it's just, that's probably
if it wasn't the US just leaving them behind, the Russians would have supplied them more Chinese.
Yeah.
Anyway, listen, we must stop talking about Afghanistan because we must go to a break.
Yes.
And we also must come back with something a little bit more cheery, or I don't know, just something else for the next couple of hours. So let's crack on with it. We're going to go to some ads. Please do stay tuned. You're listening to Scott and Hutch. You can call in with your opinion, which we would very much value, on 0333 444 0940. That's 0333
444
0940. Thank you very much, and we'll be right back after this.
This is Aisha. Her father died in an accident at a very young age. She lives with her mother and siblings. There are millions like Aisha who do not have access to the very basics of life, resulting in her and many others not being able to attend school. Through Minhaj Welfare Foundation, your charity is dedicated towards supporting the full needs of orphans and needy children around the world. Donate today. Call us now, 0300 3030 777, or visit us on minhajwelfare.org.
Ahoy there, matey. So you want to be a pirate, do you? Well, guess what? You now can at Fairlock Country Park. Come and hire one of our fantastic new boats at the lake. Find us on the tube on the Central Line, or drive down from East London. Fun for the whole family, har! You can row, pedal, or even try kayaking. We're open on weekends, all school holidays from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Come on down and set sail at Fairlock Country Park.
Thinking about selling or letting your home? With Maxwell Estates, you don't need to look any further. Well established with over 15 years of experience, Maxwell Estates are specialists in residential sales and lettings. We manage over 200 properties in and around Northwest London, keeping our landlords and tenants updated with all the latest laws and legislations. Based in Edgware, our experienced specialist negotiators always ensure we maximize the full potential of your property. Call us now on 0208 952 0808 for a free no obligation quotation, or visit our website www.maxwellestates.co.uk for further information. Maxwell Estates, the name you can trust.
If you want to advertise your business on Revive FM, then visit www.revivefm.co.uk. Alternatively, contact our sales team now on 07944 56 5616. That's 07944 56 5616.
Waris Food Store, the place to go for all your meat and groceries. We stock thousands of items from fresh fruit and veg to all your favourite Ramadan food products. Based at 420 Hoe Street in Walthamstow, we can deliver anything you need right to your doorstep. Just give us a call on 0208 521 0000. Waris Food Stores is now also available on Uber Eats.
Taj Grill invites you to the world of Pakistani cuisine. With every dish prepared to perfection, why not try our sizzling mixed grill, our famous masala fish, or choose from our selection of freshly made curries and allow the Taj Grill experience to speak for itself. Visit us at 72 Ilford Lane or 508 Ilford High Road, or call 0208 262 6476. We also offer catering for all your events. Call us for more information.
With over 40 years experience in the industry, Plachette Carpets is the place to go for all your carpets, laminates, linos and wood flooring. We have an established network of suppliers, which means we can offer some of the best prices in town. We offer free estimates, free measurements and now even free fitting. Call us now on 0208 472 8568 or visit us at 157 Plachette Road, Upton Park, London, E13 0QZ.
Revive FM.
94.0. On the radio.
On your mobile.
And online.
On FM.
On YouTube.
Facebook.
Under your bed.
In your closet.
And we're hiding in your fridge.
Henry Scott and Tom Hutchinson bring you the news.
On Revive FM.
Hello. You're listening to Revive FM with myself, Henry Scott, my wonderful co-host.
Myself, Tom Hutchinson.
Lovely stuff. Anyway, I wanted to move on from talking about Afghanistan. I was going to ask you, Tom, another day, another mental health crisis in this country. Supposedly NHS services are pretty much overwhelmed.
I mean, it's easy to say, when are they not? But
apparently COVID has made it even worse.
Yeah, I mean, it's, trying to sort of get things done at the minute. I suppose, I mean, there is such apparently from what I've heard, because obviously we know I'm waiting for a hernia operation. When I've been to have my consultations and everything about my nose, my hernia, everything else, they are saying that the hospitals are actually opening up more surgery slots to try and get down on the backlog. But for mental health, it's not really something that you can just open up an additional slot for, really, is it? And I think the sort of the impending threat of another lockdown, I think, is starting to weigh on people's minds a little bit as well. Don't you agree?
I mean, I think lockdown is probably the most damaging thing that's ever happened to everyone's health in this country.
Yeah.
I do not think...
I think so, yeah. I mean, I dare say that first lockdown, all right, I was in a slightly better place than I was, but I dare say if I didn't have my mate there sort of trying to encourage me and keep me going and, let's be honest, working out 7 days a week, I think I'd have either gone stir crazy or I'd have probably done something stupid. Because, there's only so many times you can sort of sit on a games console, read a book, watch a movie, go out for an hour's exercise, bake bread, or I mean, not that I could do that because
everyone was doing that, and I never saw the point.
I think it was just because it was that whole thing of everyone was going to try a new trick or
everyone
new
decided
skill.
to bake bread, and there was no flour in the
there was a flour shortage
and no pasta.
Yeah, that's true because
there
was no flour. Although I'll be honest, the only thing I wanted to do, and I was always going to try and do it, and I kind of never. I did the research, but I could never find the right thing to do it through. I was going to learn another language. I wanted to learn Spanish.
Duolingo, man.
See, I was going to try Duolingo. Then people were going, I don't know. Or Rosetta Stone was the other one.
To be honest, trying to learn a new language, the best thing to do is just go to a class. Doing it on your phone, you'll never be able to do it the same.
Yeah.
I'm planning to go and take classes.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Because it's like I think you get more... knowledge actually hearing it from somebody as opposed to just reading it on a book. You know, he said, she said. It's not stuff that you're gonna learn or say in everyday. You know, for me, I would be like, "Excuse me, I'm lost. Sorry, my Spanish is not very good. How do I get to Las Palmas Bar? I know it's about half a mile away. Where's that going to turn up in your Rosetta
Stone? You know what the really sad thing is I don't know how I would say that. That's really annoying me because I used to learn Spanish.
Yeah,
like I can't ask how I don't remember how to ask where I get visitors, but if I wanted to ask for a table or something, I could do that.
Yeah. See, I've literally learned the thing. Although the thing was because I went to Barcelona, obviously it's Catalan out there, and they don't like the Spanish.
Well, no, they don't. They don't not like the Spanish, but they all speak Castilian.
Yeah, which is completely different. It's more French because they believe that they're closely associated with the Basque region, don't they? So they kind of it's a little bit of a French Spanish hybrid.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, like, what is it? I think. In terms of the mental health crisis that this country's in.
Yeah, getting back on topic. Sorry.
Yeah.
I keep doing this. Sorry.
It's all right, man. In terms of the mental health crisis that this country's in, we as a nation, we're not very good at dealing with mental health, I think.
No.
It's something which is, keep calm and carry on is a very mindset which is ingrained into us as a society, which admittedly probably was quite good for the lockdown. But at the same time, it's all caught up with us and it's caught up with people. And I don't believe that their mental health services provided by the NHS are adequate.
Well, do you remember we had on a couple of months ago, we had a gentleman who was campaigning for a national mental health service.
Yes. And I personally, funny you mentioned this because I was remembering our conversation with Ollie. And I thought, I now actually don't agree with the premise of his national mental health service because it was just a load of more bureaucracy and funding for somebody who's going to manage it individually. Just keep it under the same umbrella. The NHS suffers from enough middle management as it is.
So the problem is, I think with the NHS, and again, I don't mean this in any disrespect. I'm going to say this every time I say something now because I'm worried I'm going to get.
I just don't apologise. You notice I don't. I'm sorry if anyone gets offended. I don't bother, man.
No, if I'm going to offend someone, I'm going to do it properly. I'm not going to say it because I think the NHS do a fantastic job. But I feel like it almost needs to be a case of let the NHS crack on with doing the NHS stuff. Don't worry about the finances. Don't worry. Almost what we need is the NHS needs effectively an open checkbook. It also needs to be streamlined because, and this is one of the things I always remember when I was younger, like watching shows like Casualty and Holby City and some of the other ones like Blue Healers and Blue Healers was police, but like the young doctors out in Australia and the flying doctors and all that sort of stuff. When it's the doctors and the nurses running the show, everything's harmonious. And then I started to remember watching like Casualty and Hobby City, and they started bringing in the men in suits who were like the general managers of the hospital, and they were kind of the bean counters. And that's when things started to go wrong. And I think what we need is we need to have everything needs to be streamlined, whether it's a case of, God forbid, redundancies in management or whatever. The NHS needs to be streamlined. It needs to get back to basics because at the moment it's so fractured, so splintered. We need to go back to when it was first created. What was it, about 70 years ago? Go back to having doctors and nurses run the show saying, right, here's what we need. Here's how much we need to ask for to get it sorted. I mean, it's like the Queen. The Queen has to have an annual expense account every year. She goes, right, well, I need £2 million to redo up Sandringham.
Like regularly, she only needs about something like £2 million.
Yeah.
And other than that,
they have to request for things, don't they? So like
exactly.
There was the whole argument about Prince Charles having his Aston Martin, was it DB5 or a DB6 converted to run on red wine because he wanted to make it
Who?
Prince Charles.
This?
This was about 8 or 9 years ago. So he had a
red wine's quite expensive.
I think it was basically to run on alcohol, but it was the idea was it was being set up. I think the story was it was being run on red wine. But the car that was in the soft top that was Kate and Wills used in the royal wedding, that car runs on
10K electric converted Jaguar.
That'd be nice.
Well, that's what it was. It was a 10.
It was an Aston Martin, the soft top they had.
Oh yeah, sorry, but it was a converted. It was a converted car. It used to be non-electric, and it was converted to an electric car for £10,000.
I mean, I can sort of see the point of it. I mean, I saw a Land Rover Defender the other day that was converted to run on a steam engine.
But I mean, it's like these simple things. Is removing the bureaucracy from our daily lives. Is working out those expense accounts. The Chancellor and the head of the NHS are currently having a battle as to how much funding they're going to get, despite the Chancellor wanting to rein in the spending to to make sure the pound doesn't devalue.
But this is the thing. I think that can't we rein in spending from other departments and then funnel it to the NHS? Because the NHS, if we've ever proven that we needed the NHS,
in government, I've been told this. In government, it's always who shouts the loudest gets, and that's why if you have a bad cabinet minister, that area of the country tends to suffer because it's always a fight.
Can we just
for
make
money?
Can we make someone like Brian Blessed as the Home Secretary, or like something like that? We just combine like the Defence Minister, Home Secretary, Foreign Secretary, all be Brian Blessed.
But that is it. It is that the government is run by whoever yells the loudest, and as we've seen, and whoever yells the loudest gets the spending or the budget that they want or the policy that they want through.
Yeah.
And if at the minute we've got Sajid Javid, who's a very, very strong character in terms of political weight, and this was the man was second in command of the country. He was the chancellor.
Yeah,
I mean, in my eyes, the chancellor's second in command because he controls.
Oh
all
yeah,
the
of
money.
course he is. Yeah.
So, if we have chancellor as the health secretary, him and the head of the NHS will be fighting hard for money.
It's a shame we can't combine these roles. Excuse me, it's a shame we can't combine these roles.
Well, the head of NHS England is more of a long-term role, whereas a cabinet minister can be removed on the daily.
Yeah,
which they regularly are,
as we've proven with Hanky Panky Hancock.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean,
apparently he went on holiday with his wife and his kids. Oh, I bet I'd love to have been a fly on the wall for that one.
Yeah, it must have been pretty awkward. But I mean, regardless of that fact.
See something you like there, do you, darling? No.
Well, then they're not going out anymore. I think it's just for the kids' sake, which is actually quite stoic of him.
Yeah, I mean,
surprisingly.
Well,
but nonetheless, obviously, I think this is a crisis in our country that isn't sorted out. The wait times for therapy now, and you only get 12 weeks of therapy, 12 sessions of therapy.
Yeah.
Once you finally get onto the system. First, you'll wait 18 months on average now, and then you'll only get 12 sessions. And therapy is a long term.
And if you don't get someone, if you get someone that you don't gel with, as I experienced when I lost my mum, they sent me to therapy at the hospital. It was just like as a little coping mechanism. I spent, I think it was supposed to be an hour session. I spent an hour basically being silent, which for me is nigh on impossible. Back then it was easy. And she would, kind of do the probing questions, but I just, you just don't get a good vibe off of someone, or you're not clicking. Like it's not like a conversation.
Yeah, that's the issue. But the problem is there's not enough resources to go around.
Yeah,
and
it's kind of, you have to try and create the friendship, and that's it. But or the relationship. But if you don't get the right person, sometimes it can be just as damaging, if not, because then like you come out of it like I did. I think I had it was either 9 or 12 sessions. I did 7, and I was like, I'm going to try and get through 2 months, and eventually I said, we'll see you next week. And I was just like, I'll be honest with you. No, I said, because I don't find it helping. I said, it's not a knock on you. I said, I'm sitting here. I'm talking about stuff that's happened with my mum. I said, I want my mum back. I don't want to be talking about stuff. I want her here. And that was kind of how I left it. And I said, look, this is not a blotcher on you, but I just said, I'm not going to be coming back. And I think that's the problem. Sometimes it does help people, but other times with me, I don't think it did.
Anyway, listen, we must go to a break now. We'll continue a conversation like this. I think we need to talk about coronavirus.
Oh yes, I've got a story about that as well.
Exactly.
From our friends.
The new statistics and data has come out today, and it's quite interesting to look at. So we'll be looking at that after the break. But do stay tuned, as me and Tom will be right back after these messages.
If you want to advertise your business on Revive FM, then visit www.revivefm.co.uk or contact our sales team now on 07944 565616. That's 07944 565616. Advertise with Revive FM.
After the year we've had, many of us are carrying a few extra lockdown pounds. This extra weight can put strain on our bodies. But now is the time to get started, to start shopping smarter, eating better, and moving more. Small, simple changes to what and how much you are eating and drinking can make all the difference. Better Health has lots of free tips and tools that can help you lose weight and get active. This includes apps to help you move more, to help you cook tasty, healthier meals, and a 12-week NHS weight loss plan to help you start healthier eating habits. Be more active and start losing weight 1 week at a time. For free help and support to lose weight, search Better Health. Better Health. Let's do this.
Need your tyres checked? Have a flat or a nail in your tyre? Don't panic. Visit B1 Tyres. Our professional and friendly team will have you back on the road in no time. We stock over 3,000 tyres and have some of the best prices in town. Wheel alignment, alloy gaiters, and wheel refurbs are just some of the services that we offer. So call us on 0203 875 3525 or visit us at B1 Tyres, Unit B, 43 to 49 Fowler Road in Hainault. B1 Tyres, the garage you can trust.
ये आयशा है। ये बहुत छोटी सी थी जब इसके वालिद का एक हादसे में इंतकाल हो गया। वो अपनी माँ और छोटे बहन भाइयों के साथ रहती है। आयशा जैसी लाखों बच्चियां जिंदगी की बुनियादी सहूलतों से बिल्कुल महरूम है। यही वजह है कि वो स्कूल भी नहीं जा सकती। मिनहाज वेलफेयर फाउंडेशन ने आपके एहतियात और अपनी खिदमत दुनिया भर के यतीम और बेसहारा बच्चों के लिए वक्फ कर दी है। एक यतीम और बेसहारा बच्चे का सहारा बनिए। आज ही अतिया कीजिए। अभी कॉल मिलाएं 0300 3030 या हमारी वेबसाइट विजिट करें www.minhajwelfare.org.
Nikah, talaq, counseling on matrimonial disputes, Islamic wills, Islamic law of inheritance, or an Islamic verdict on any other issue. The Muslim Sharia Council is at your service. We provide official certification and our experienced and highly qualified imams are available to provide you with guidance when needed. MQI London is based at 292 to 296 Romford Road, Forest Gate. We are open from Monday to Friday 2 to 4 p.m. or alternatively call us now on 0208 257 1786.
Waris Food Store, the place to go for all your meat and groceries. We stock thousands of items from fresh fruit and veg to all your favourite Ramadan food products. Based at 420 Hoe Street in Walthamstow, we can deliver anything you need right to your doorstep. Just give us a call on 0208 521 0000. Warris Food Stores is now also available on Uber Eats. Thinking of selling or letting your property? Need someone reliable to find the best prospect for your home? Well, look no further. Cameron Adams is here to take care of all your needs. Our professional and experienced team will guide you through the entire process and ensure you find the right client for your property. For a no-obligation quotation, contact us now on 0208 558 2000. That's 0208 558 2000. Or visit us at 30 Church Lane in Leytonstone. Cameron Adams, always at your service.
Revive FM.
94.0. On the radio.
On your mobile.
And online. This is
Revive FM.
94.0. With the latest news from around the world.
Has declared that Afghanistan is finally free after the last US troops withdrew from the country, ending America's longest war. The militant group marched into Kabul airport earlier, saying everything's now peaceful and safe. Speaking to reporters from the tarmac, a spokesman denounced America for starting a war.
The US aggression was a reckless act from the beginning. We told the US at the same time that they should not invade our territory. They did not consider the outcome of their work, and the result was that now they were defeated and the Afghan people won the battlefields and liberated their country.
The owner of an alpaca who's been put down by the government vets says she's absolutely devastated and feels betrayed by the country. Geronimo was seized after he twice tested positive for bovine tuberculosis. Members of the Scottish Parliament have approved the appointment of 2 Green MSPs as government ministers for the first time. The move, as part of a power-sharing agreement with the SNP, has been called groundbreaking by the First Minister. They're planning to hold a second independence referendum, but the Scottish Conservative leader Douglas Ross says that's not what people want.
Once again, the SNP have got their priorities all wrong. They've turned their backs on jobs, our economy, the oil and gas industry, and on car drivers. This isn't a deal for hard-working Scotland.
Instagram's going to require all users to provide their date of birth as part of a new safety measure to boost child protection. People setting up new accounts have been asked to do it since December 2019. In sport, Leeds have completed the £25 million signing of Dan James from Manchester United on transfer deadline day. It follows the return of Cristiano Ronaldo to Old Trafford. And Wales's preparations for upcoming internationals have been hit by a positive COVID test for goalkeeper Adam Davies. Striker Kiefer Moore has also been ruled out after being identified as a close contact. That's the latest. I'm Free.
This is Revive FM 94.0.
Reviving communities.
On FM. On YouTube. Facebook.
Every Tuesday from 5 to 7.
Henry Scott and Tom Hutchinson.
Keeping you in the loop.
On Revive FM.
The views expressed on this program do not necessarily represent those of Revive FM or its management.
Hello there. I'm telling you, one day I'm going to get that to work. It's going to be slicker than an oil slick, I'm telling you. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Revive FM 94.0 as the man shakes his head here in the studio.
I do.
It is the second hour. It is the second hour of your penultimate Scott and Hutch. My name is Tom Hutchinson, and joining me, shedding a tear in this very, very, very fine studio is my amazing co-host,
Henry Scott.
Oh, yeah. He's here. As we get, funky, we have a bit of a funky fanfare, which has kind of become a little bit of a bit of a trademark of the second hour. We want to know, we want to hear from you. Come on, we are a call-in show, as we keep saying every single week. You can call us on 0333 09. That's 0333 09. I know.
We like to have fun here.
Oh, we do, as you can tell. I mean, we've been doing this now for 52 weeks. Next week will be the final week of week 53. I know it's such a shame, isn't it? But we're going on to pastures new, and you're going to be setting yourself up for the future. And I'm probably going to finally try and finish Grand Theft Auto or start Cyberpunk or something like that. I don't know. We'll work on it. We'll see. It's a work in progress. It's a work in progress, as Mr. Mike Wazowski says. Right. I suppose we need to carry on from where we left off, and I suppose we need to play a little bit of news. Do a bit of news?
A little bit of news.
Let's do a little bit of news.
On FM. On YouTube. Facebook.
Every Tuesday from 5 to 7.
Henry Scott and Tom Hutchinson.
Keeping you in the loop.
On Revive FM.
Yes, that's right. I mean, why break the habit of a lifetime, or at least the last 52 weeks? So we were talking about the NHS going through a potential mental health crisis.
And I think that's the link to coronavirus, and I think we also need to talk about coronavirus.
Yeah, we do. I mean,
did you like that transition?
That was that. I'm telling you now, sir. That was if I actually had an applause here, I would give that to you.
Thank you very much.
It was amazing, sir. It was amazing. I mean, the only thing I can kind of really give you, if it's any help, is this. Cammy, what did you think of that? Do you think that was a goal or not?
It's a goal! It's a goal, Jeff! Is it David Healy's running away? Andy Durstall's playing on. Sorry, my monitor's down again.
I'm not. I'm giving you an applause. I think it was brilliant.
I don't even know the assistant.
You're mocking
hasn't given it.
I would never mock you, sir.
Oh, the assistant hasn't given it, I don't think, Jeff.
I think that was really,
we both know when you first used that and mocked me, and I was not best pleased.
I might have another one later on. We'll see what happens. We'll see how good it can be. I might get Brendan Foster on.
All right.
We'll see. Just got to learn how to say the words highly Gabby Zalazi like he does. We've. I mean, if we're going to talk about COVID, I actually have a little bit of a COVID story. I mean, you'll be shocked to hear. A 17-year-old girl who's currently in hospital after falling ill with COVID says she's been targeted by anti-vaxxers, conspiracy theorists. Oh, sorry, anti-vaxxers and conspiracy. I was going to thought there was going to be a third one of like and or nut jobs. Saying that because she urged people to get the vaccine. So her name's Maisie Evans, and she's a former member of the Welsh Youth Parliament. And she told Sky News that when she feared that she was dying when her oxygen levels dropped dramatically after contracting coronavirus. So she lives in Newport, South Wales, and she says that she's been getting the symptoms. She's been getting dizziness, shortness of breath, and excruciating headaches, and the loss of smell and taste like you normally get. And it's also, she has a COVID-related blood clot in her lung. So she's almost getting like a bit of a pulmonary embolism. She tested positive for the virus on the 14th of August. And then 3 days after having, that was 3 days after having the first Pfizer jab. So, because as we all know, that you don't get your maximum protection until it's about 2 weeks after you have the jab, I believe. She then said that the doctors have also said that the illness and the blood clot are not related to the vaccine. So she has just unfortunately caught full-blown COVID. It's just terrible time. But after revealing her, she then received that she was, and this is where I have to question why some of these people, haven't got it, and also, if not, why not? Basically, she was revealing that she was getting targeted online by trolls, accusing her of being a liar and an actress paid by the government. I mean,
well, the thing is, Tom, it's best not to platform these kind of stories.
No.
That's just my opinion. But these people are crazy. They're ridiculous. They're unhinged, and they don't know what they're on about. And that's why they're not in government.
Well, this is the thing. I mean, so some people called her everything from being a liar, an actress paid by the government to push certain agendas. And this is the other thing. Satan, a Nazi, and evil, to name other things.
Exactly. I mean,
what the heck is with these people?
Mate, they're weirdos. I've been yelled at by a bunch of them at Speaker's Corner. There's nothing you can do. You can't reason with them. They're like, "Oh, read this book. The book was written by a conspiracy theorist." Yeah, but he wrote a book. And I'm like, yes, but he's a conspiracy theorist. No, but it's valid. No, but he's also a conspiracy theorist.
Yeah.
And he makes up theories like the moon landing wasn't real. You believe the moon landing was real? Yes, it was. I bet you also believe that the Earth is round.
It's like,
well, funnily enough.
Yeah, funny enough that if you try walking off it, mate, and see what happens. I'd say the thing that I always have to laugh at is when these people sort of say, "Oh, the moon landing's real," and I go, "Yeah, I also believe that natural selection must have took a day off when you were conceived, because let's be honest, that's the only way you would have got through the net."
Exactly. But I mean, here's the thing is, so I mean, aside from conspiracy theorists hounding sick COVID patients, in hospital,
we hope that she makes.
I did want to give a little assessment of the figures and why people shouldn't be too worried about the latest increase in cases going up across the country. Obviously, during the first wave that we had full-blown testing, we reached a maximum caseload of 80,000 cases a day. And that took us to around about a maximum of 1,500 deaths per day dying from coronavirus alone. However, it's important to note that over this January to March period, going from sort of, I'd say, early December to late January, there was a 900 average cases a day. There was 900 deaths a day over this period, with an average of 40,000 cases a day over that period. Now we have just 30,000 cases averaging per day, and we also only have 100 deaths a day on average. That's significantly better.
Yeah, I mean,
and lots of people are saying that this is a tragedy and how are we allowing this to happen. But at the same time, we all need to get on with our lives, and that is the strategy this government has pursued.
Yeah, I mean, it's a horrible thing when we have to sort of say that 50 deaths is now becoming the normal. Under 100 deaths.
Well, Tom, I will say regularly in this country, 2,500 people die per day.
Yeah, that's
from natural causes and illnesses.
That's what I was just about to say. Yeah, I suppose it's because it's highlighted in the news, which also goes to prove how
much the media distorts your worldview.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, either way, it is a shame it's still continuing to happen. I still. Like seeing the news as well about that, when New Zealand went back into a lockdown because there was one case. I think it's a shame that we can't do that. But then again, I suppose they are a much smaller nation than we are, so they can sort of afford to take the hit. And also, let's be honest, I think that they actually listen to their government a lot more than we do ours, which is just because I think they've got a lot of trust in her. That's the thing in Jacinda. So
indeed.
It'd be nice if I think there was actually people trying to sort of research her ancestry to see whether she was going to be able to become prime minister over here.
Well, she can.
Oh, there you go. So,
anyone, doesn't matter where they were born, can be prime minister in the UK.
Yeah, no, you can't be president, because remember when Barack Obama had to prove that he was a US citizen?
Every president has to prove that you're a US citizen.
Yeah, but it was also but it was the fact that they were a bit worried because his middle name was Hussein, and they were like, I know, it was like, hang on, we can't have a president called Hussein. And it was like, get off. And of course you can. He was actually one of the best ones they did.
Exactly.
And then you ended up with one who was an absolute despot, and the other one who's just sort of like, what are we doing? Sleepy Joe.
I mean, here's the thing. Recently, though, is I will say for the data's incomplete for the last 5 days, but the deaths have suddenly the number of deaths occurring in the UK every day have just fallen off a cliff. It is suddenly dropped.
We're going back under the hundreds again, which is good, shall we say? But the infection rate still hovers around that 30,000, 40,000 mark, doesn't it?
But that's not something that we need to be concerned about, because if you've had your jab, it's incredible, and you're young, it's incredibly unlikely that you are going to get COVID and then subsequently end up seriously ill or die from it.
Yeah, I mean,
of course, vaccine failure is an issue, and it happens with all vaccines, like for bacterial meningitis and serious diseases like that as well. But in reality, it's just not something that we, as me and you, as young, fit, healthy people, need to worry about. Like the vast majority of our listeners that will be listening, they don't need to worry, and I feel that they should continue on as another. And bear in mind, I'm not
take precautions though a little bit. Like use your common sense is what
that's
I would
what
say.
Boris has said.
Yeah,
but I personally, I've not been playing it fast and loose, but I've been doing the things which I'm supposedly allowed to do.
Yeah.
And I've been taking my COVID test twice a week. And I don't see a problem since then.
Yeah, I mean, like, put it this way. Like, I mean, all right, I went to. All right, again, common sense. I went to the MotoGP over the weekend at Silverstone, so I was there with 150,000 people. But I made sure, me and my dad, we took bottles of hand sanitizer. They were giving out bottles of Ineos sanitizer at the gates when you came in. It's like, please take as many as you want. I'm like, great, thank you. I took one or two just to get through the weekend. Everything. Wash my hands every time I touch something. Wash my hands when I sat down. Wash my hands when I stood up, because obviously I'm touching the chair. I'm going past people. As soon as I'm about to eat something, I didn't eat that much at the track. I think I had a portion of chips and a couple of coffees and stuff. Just wash my hands as soon as I got the cup and everything. And me and my dad, we didn't take the shuttle bus, because there's a double-decker bus that goes around the circuit, dropping you off at the different gates and the different stands. So whether you're at Woodcott or Copse or Vale, Chapel, Maggots, Beckett's, the whole lot. And we just said, well, look, because my dad needs a knee replacement, bless him, but we said, look, if you're up for it, can you walk in? He's like, yeah. He said, I'd sooner do that than take the bus anyway, because all it takes is one person. At least it's kind of more open air. And every time we were sort of near someone who was starting to cough, we quickly whipped on a face mask. We only had to do it, I think, twice, but it was just being safe, really. That was all. Again, just using a bit of common sense. But it will be interesting to see if there's a bit of a jump in about 4 weeks' time, when the data kind of catches up for that weekend, because you also had Reading
the
and
deaths
Leeds
have been dropping off because we had a drop in cases.
And there was so you had the MotoGP this weekend, which was a sellout. It was 150,000 people. There wasn't much social distancing, if at all, going on.
Well, I mean, the key thing is going to be when schools go back next week.
Yes.
And the cases that are subsequently going to come from there. I mean, 16-year-olds are now being vaccinated. 88.7% of the country has now had its first dose.
Which is brilliant.
Exactly.
It's starting to slow down, though. Have you noticed? Like, I suppose because we're kind of...
Everyone's getting vaccinated. Everyone's vaccinated now, so there's not really much point in you can't have it like...
And I think they're still talking about having a booster jab if you're over... Is it over 65? I know my dad's talking about. I think he's got to have one done. Because he's had a Pfizer, so he's got to have another jab.
I mean, I can give you an update on the vaccination.
Yeah, go for it.
So we had a peak at one point where we vaccinated something like we vaccinated 752,000 people in one day, right? Which is
brilliant,
pretty impressive.
Well, 750,000, yeah. And it goes to show you the uptake is there as well.
Exactly,
which is fantastic.
And while we were vaccinating the vulnerable, who knew, for many of them, considering they're surrounded by the medical profession a lot of the time, there were vaccination rates that were daily hitting 500,000 in terms of people who had hit their 2 doses. So, in terms of us as a nation, recently, the vaccination rate of people ending up getting their who have received 2-dose vaccinations by report date has been averaging out around 200,000 a day. It's only recent that it started to really drop off in terms of it. The first dose, people have received their first dose, of course, has slowed down, but people receiving their second has been a nice steady trickle of people getting vaccinated. 78.7% of the country who's eligible for a vaccine, that's anyone over the age of 16, has now been given their vaccination.
Yeah, it's great.
We're still averaging want over 200,000 vaccinations a day in this country.
I think it is just the fact as well that everyone wants to get back to quote unquote normal. They don't,
I think because
we're kind of
having prepared to make that sacrifice as well.
We've kind of, we're enjoying a little bit of normal at the minute. We've got events back on. I mean, Reading and Leeds Festival took place over the weekend. Like I said, I was at the MotoGP. We've got the Paralympics going on at the minute. Okay, there's no fans there unless you count Rosie Jones from the last leg, who's making it up for everybody if you see her, because just we can't play any of the clips that we have because they all contain a certain F word, but she's, I think, making it up for everybody there. And I think we're all just hoping now we're not going to have that fourth lockdown.
Everyone's predicting it, aren't they?
I think it's going to happen.
Everyone's predicting that fourth lockdown.
I'm just sort of keeping an eye out. Like, I'm taking a few weeks off of work because Elise is back at the end of this week actually from Dubai for a couple of weeks. So even though I don't have to self-isolate, but she does, because apparently even though she's double jabbed, the UAE doesn't register as a place where you don't have to self-isolate. Now it's on the amber list according to the UK government. So she's still got to do test to release. I'm going to try and limit where I'm going for the next few days. But after that, I'm just going to try and grab as many shifts as I can at my various jobs because, I don't know how long this next lockdown is going to go for. Is it going to be another month? Is it going to be another 3 months? Are we going to have another 6-month one? Are we going to have to wait till next summer when we can come back outside again? I'm a little bit worried, and especially as I might also be potentially looking at another house at some point to add to my portfolio. I want to make sure that, because that's going to be nigh on impossible to get to, especially where it's going to be up in Manchester. I'm not going to be able to go and see it. So I hope it's not going to happen because I don't want to do another 4 weeks, especially now I'm going to be kind of locked in on my own. I
think the rest of the country and myself voices your opinion is none of us want another lockdown.
Yeah.
So I think it's actually time. I think maybe perhaps we'll all be a bit more sensible when COVID starts to hit us in the winter.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you want to have another lockdown, then by all means go for it. But all I will say is,
I don't.
Could you live with yourself? Because we couldn't. That's what I worry about.
I worry about it too, man. It's concerning. It's very concerning. I mean, at the same time,
it's the economic damage. It's the mental health damage. There's so many ripples.
The lockdown has wider effects than many people think. Despite people dying from coronavirus, I don't see how another lockdown could be justified, especially when we've been told is that there are no more lockdowns.
Yeah, that lasted 6 weeks, and now they're talking about we might have another lockdown again. So, blimey, because it's either going to be local lockdowns. I don't think they can risk a national one.
No, they will. Local lockdowns doesn't work because people just travel.
Yeah. I mean, if that's the case, I don't know. Maybe I need to pack up and go away for a couple of weeks then.
Jog on off to Ibiza, mate.
Yeah, why not? Go to Magaluf for a couple of weeks, the lockdown diaries.
I'd like to.
It'd be nice. Well, we'll go and see my sister in Paris. Well, she's actually back over here now, so for a couple of weeks, but I'm supposed to be seeing her at some point, but I don't know when. So hello, Sean, if you're listening, and hope you're keeping well. Looking forward to it. Right, I think we better go to some adverts in a minute. So
let's just ignore that.
Just ignore that as my co-host microphone flops to the ground. We're going to flop onto a nice comfy chair and put our feet up and play some ads. Stay right there. We'll be right back on Scott and Hutch.
If you want to advertise your business on Revive FM, then visit www.revivefm.co.uk. Alternatively, contact our sales team now on 079 44 56 5616. That's 079 44 56 5616.
Turkish Kitchen. The best Turkish food you'll ever taste. We only use the highest quality meat. Along with our mixed grill platters, we serve cold mezes, hot mezes, lahmacun, and a wide selection of fish options. To order for delivery or collection, call us now on 0208 507 8822. That's 0208 507 8822. Or visit us at 41 Ripple Road, Barking, ID11 7NT. We can also take group bookings and take care of all your party needs. The Turkish Kitchen, Barking.
Looking to get your finances in order? MR Accountants has you covered. We provide a full range of accountancy and taxation services, including annual and management accounts, self-assessment tax returns, VAT, bookkeeping, and payroll services. We ensure you're kept up to date with the latest legislation, and our client-focused approach helps us plan your business finances from savings to investments. We are MR Accountants. Visit our website at mraccountants.com or call us on 0203 432 9138.
मिनहाज वेलफेयर फाउंडेशन में आपका अतिया जिंदगी की उम्मीद आपकी मदद से मुमकिन हुआ। दुनिया भर में 30 लाख से ज्यादा खवातीन, बुजुर्गों और बच्चों तक साफ पानी की फ्राहमी। मुतासरा इलाकों में हंगामी इमदाद, यतीम और बेसहारा बच्चों की दादरसी। इस साल हम आपके ताउन से और आगे बढ़ना चाहते हैं। अपनी ज़कात, सदकात और खैरात के जरिए इन मंसूबों का हिस्सा बनिए। अभी कॉल कीजिए 0300 3030 777 या हमारी वेबसाइट विजिट करें www.minhajwelfare.org.
Minhaj School of Islamic Sciences provides quality Islamic education for children aged between 5 and 15 years old. As well as teaching classical Islam, including Tajweed, Fiqh, Seerah, and Aqidah, we endeavor to equip children with essential Islamic manners, morals, and values. Here at MSIS, our experienced teachers create an inspirational learning environment where we strive to cater for the needs of every child. For enrollment inquiries, inquire in person at Minhaj School of Islamic Sciences, Monday to Friday, 5 to 7 p.m. at 292-296 Romford Road, or email admin.edu_London@minhajuk.org.
Does your pizza excite you? The London Pizza Depot invites you on a journey with our worldwide inspired pizzas. To the smoke and jerk drums of Jamaica, to savor the Caribbean hot, to sunny California, to enjoy the greatest invention, the Cali cheeseburger. Transport yourself with every bite. Our authentically prepared hand-stretched dough, freshly diced veg, finest cuts of halal meat, and our 100% mozzarella cheese ensures the delivery of a masterpiece every time. Visit www.londonpizzadepot.co.uk or our branches in Ilford or Plaistow. Now you can enjoy buy one pizza, get one free every Tuesday. T's and C's apply.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jyoti Sood. Let's face it, lockdown has left many of us carrying some extra weight. But extra weight can put pressure on our bodies, making it harder to fight diseases like cancer, heart disease, and type 2 diabetes. So now is a great time for us to get our weight on track. The Better Health website has lots of free tools and tips to get you started. So for help and support to lose weight, search Better Health. Let's do this.
On FM.
On YouTube.
Facebook.
Every Tuesday from 5 to 7.
Henry Scott and Tom Hutchinson.
Keeping you in the loop.
On Revive FM.
Revive FM.
94.0. On the radio.
On your mobile.
And online.
Hello there, you are back and very welcome to be joining us for the second hour of Scott and Hutch. My name is Tom Hutchinson. Joining me in the studio is
Henry Scott.
That's him right there. We are, we're having a bit of a giggle. We're talking about all our usual stuff. We've got a nice little game coming up later on called Play Your Transfers Right.
As well.
Oh, have you?
Yes.
Do you want to play it now?
Oh,
you want to play it now? Do you want some music or?
No,
if you're ready,
I'd better not have any music.
Okay.
It's a musicless game.
But
it is something that our listeners can participate in at home.
Yes, well, this is it. If you want to get involved, you can either call us on 0333 444 0940, or you can go to Revive FM UK on Facebook and YouTube, and you can see our lovely little faces for the penultimate time because we are finishing next week. But, Mr. Scott, what is your game?
I've got it's Florida Man.
I know this. Florida Man.
Since my first ever radio show on Revive FM, we've been playing this game.
Oh, I actually enjoyed this last week. It was
Called
quite funny.
And I thought I'd bring it back for the last couple of episodes because it is an all-time classic game.
It is.
So
this is going to be good. This. If you've never heard the game A Florida Man, you're in for a treat.
So let me explain the rules to our listeners.
For
all our listeners on the radio and on YouTube, Facebook, whatever you're listening on, you are going to be given. I'm going to give you 3 news stories.
Okay.
2 of them are fake,
right,
and 1 of them is real. And it's about Florida man does X, Y, Z. Florida man suspected of X, Y, Z. And your job is to guess which story
one is which.
So if you want to call in and join us for this game, so you can participate, please do give us a call on 0333 444 0940. That's 0333 444 0940. Let's get started.
You want to go for it?
Let's get started. Okay, so Tom, the first story I have for you is Florida man suspected of using private plane to draw a giant radar phallus.
I mean, really?
That's the first story.
All right, okay.
I'm not going to laugh because this is a serious game.
It's very serious.
It's
yes.
a very
It's
serious
very
game
serious.
that you need to participate in.
I mean, that man
seriously.
truly was at the cutting edge of cocking about. But let's move on. Yes. So a man was drawing a radar phallus with a jet, with a private plane. Yes. Go on, carry on, sir.
You're so cheeky, Tom.
I know.
All right.
Yeah.
Thousands of gun owners in Florida are planning to shoot down Hurricane Ida.
I mean, America, you had one job. I thought that I always thought that flood that Noah was supposed to do was supposed to eliminate all the idiots. Right. So basically, Florida now think the best thing to do to tackle a hurricane is to shoot at it. Of course they do. And what is the third one, sir?
The third story I have for you today,
all right,
which is Florida man denies drinking and driving, says he only swigged bourbon at stop signs.
Which on a technicality
is true.
It's true.
That's not drinking and driving.
Yeah.
That's stopping and then drinking and then stopping drinking and then driving.
Well, it was like when Clarkson and May went to the North Pole. They were driving that Toyota Hilux truck up to the North Pole, and because they were drinking gin and tonics, they said, hang on, they're drinking and driving. They're promoting drinking and driving. No, we're not. It's a frozen ocean. We're technically sailing, which means it's allowed. So that was their argument. Right. Okay. So we've got the radar phallus. That's a cracking name for like a 70s band.
Pilot.
The pilot.
Florida man accused of drawing a giant radar phallus in the sky.
Phallus in the sky with diamonds. Sorry. It's a lesser known song by the Beatles.
Then we've got Floridians trying to shoot down a hurricane. And then we've also got...
I don't think they hurricane do that.
And then we've got the man who was denying drinking and driving because he wasn't drinking and driving at the same time.
Right.
Which is true, Tom. You can assess each one.
Okay. So I think
our listeners at home you can also
you can get involved. Yeah, you can leave a comment on our streams as well. I've got all the comments here ready to read out. So I think. I don't think that local Floridians would be stupid enough to try and shoot a hurricane, unless it was in a glass. I'm going to say that is it two are true? Is it one's true and
one
two
is
are false?
True and two are false?
One is true, two are false. Right. I'm going to say that the real one is. And sorry, because my brain's going. I'm still thinking of the radar thing. What was the third one again? Sorry.
Third one is the Florida man denies drinking and driving because it was only drinking and then stopping and then driving.
Okay, right. I'm going to say that the real one is the drinking driving story.
Well, Tom, congratulations. You've won this week.
Hooray!
Because all of the stories were true.
And the worst thing is, you told me that last week that you always said that they were all true. Why didn't I remember?
No one ever remembers this. I remember I used to do this to Dion, my old co-host, every single week.
Do you know what? I even thought about it. I'll be honest. I actually thought about it. When you said about all three, I thought, he said last week.
There's a Facebook event that stated previously to Hurricane Ida or whatever it is. Let's show Ida that we shoot first, states Facebook event. The man who used the private plane, there's an actual photo of his aircraft.
Thank God that's the only thing there's a photo of.
No, but there's also a radar pattern as well.
You got to show me that in the break.
Exactly. And then, of course, there is a man who was arrested on a DUI, but claims he wasn't because he wasn't actually drinking and driving.
I want to know, did he get off on that? Because that could open up a legal precedent.
I don't. Let's try to not open up that legal.
I tell you what. Did you hear this? This is, and for once, this is not a tangent, right? Did you hear the story about a man who sued a bar in America? I don't think he was from Florida, but did you hear about this? So there's a guy in America. I don't know what, but it probably was going to be Florida. He took a bar to court, right? Because his argument was that they gave him too much alcohol.
Yeah, I saw this.
Yeah, he went outside, had a fight. Yeah, and do you know how much he was awarded in damages? $5.5 million.
I don't know how a bar has that amount of money, though.
I'll just say now, I think they're going to have to really, get happy hours. Going to have to last for like for 2 days straight. I think just to cover the tab. But
never.
I mean, just like, how the heck do you get away with that? I mean, I'd love to be the I'd love to be the sort of the guy on that. I mean, the only other stupid story that I think that can match that was someone who actually tried to, was it sue the makers of the Never-Ending Story for false advertising?
And there's a Never-Ending Story?
Yeah, the movie, Never-Ending Story.
Mm.
Yeah, they tried to sue him for false advertising, saying that the Never-Ending Story was false advertising because it actually had an end to it, like the end of the movie. And you just think, oh, like there's so many people. You think, should you be allowed outside without supervision? Are you allowed to tie your own Velcro?
No.
But I mean, I've got to be honest with you. I mean, I know we were saying lockdown has affected us in quite a few ways, but to actually draw a radar-guided phallus in the air.
Intelligent, in my opinion.
I mean, yeah, there's intelligence, but then there's to actually think about, all right, so I've got to go up for about half a mile, then I've got to do a slight bank turn. I've actually got to not draw this on the camera, trust. And then to come back, and then just to do sort of like two sort of circles, 270-degree bank turns. I mean...
Anyway, after my co-host's small mental breakdown, it's time to move on.
Yeah,
that's been the Florida game. We hope you enjoyed participating at home.
Oh, Florida, man! You know what? I think we need to do a couple more of those next week. I think, but
don't worry, I've got an action-packed show planned for next week.
I'm looking forward to this. It's going to be nice, but it's going to also be very, very, very sad as well. Like this is ending,
Oh, I know, man.
It's like, what we're going to do for 2 hours on Tuesday? It's like, we can't talk about we can't do rubbish jokes. We can't do anything, I'm
going to relax. This has been I'm not going to lie, doing this every Tuesday has been an absolute honor.
Yeah.
But it is also a very big undertaking.
Yeah. Because people don't realize how much it takes to actually plan this show.
I mean, we spend at least 3 hours every Tuesday. And we also, I don't know how much we've spent on parking.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is a total volunteer role. It's just because we love doing it.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, I mean, $350 every Tuesday. For more than 52 weeks for me, for 75 weeks or something like that. It's like 262. Oh, it's actually not that bad.
Yeah,
£262 over. That's really.
But it's the fact that also some of the things
right.
Yeah, but it's some of the things that we've done as well, like the people that we've interviewed, the calls that we've taken, the stories we've covered. I mean, we were even doing a sort of a excuse me, not really a watch along, but we were doing the live updates with the England-Belgium match, and we were sort of getting really excited every time there was a goal or anything like that. And it was it's just those little things that I'm never going to forget. And whether if I stay on or I come in and do the show live, or if I pre-record something, I mean, I'm going to miss this studio. I'm going to miss sharing it with you. If I'm brutally honest, we're not going to. Like we're not going to be able to do something like this again. We'll say for a very long time until you're back.
I do, and it's actually been a lot of fun doing it because it's genuinely been quite good.
Celebrity encounters. Maybe you hit the shark with a shoe, or slipped in a loop in your corner too. Whatever it is, we don't really care. We're here to talk to you.
Anyway, I've got a couple from across the pond. From the United States of America. Let me guess, was it Florida man next to them to shot a gun? No, nothing like that. That's just silly. Of course, you shoot hurricanes. Anyway, moving on. So, Lewis Tapp, who's a supporting actor in Deadpool 2. Was he No, I don't remember. But the point is, Lewis Tapp, sort of B-list celebrity, so this is someone's ex-girlfriend, who's a Instagram and this person says that their ex is now a famous actor. They spotted him in a Marvel TV show and was hooked, and then later in another TV show and then a movie. And he's got this weird cult following. Quick backstory: they met in junior high at Los Angeles Baptist Church School, and they dated for a while. He was my first boyfriend when I first left. He was 13 and he used to walk me home from school into the movie, 6 Flags, Magic Mountain, Church Youth Priest, and stuff like that. I really, really loved him, and we both loved each other very much. But to see it go. Haven't spoken to him since high school, probably hasn't thought about me since then. Who knows? I knew his family was the next model. I knew who his family was. Mum the next model and dad of the country, stuntman actor. So it's not surprising he was one of his. Well, professionally speaking, but still. Shocking to me to see him on my show at that time. You don't think maybe this was kind of, maybe. No. I mean, that's pretty cool. So you actually dated a lot actor. Yeah. Well, I was sort of thinking one point between Tom Wilson. So we're talking about someone like Lee Jackson Holmes and Jezza Obey knocking some of my age, but that's pretty cool. Like, I realised I had a celebrity. Yes, I actually met The Rock. I met Dwayne Rock Johnson. He was a lot of fun man who always calls me friend. Yeah. Don't just man. I'm just going to get a coffee. Oh, really good. Don't ever put us up. You smell it. Yeah. Of course, anyway, moving on. Now, I will say that it was a very long ago because I was at Junior Trinity on a Saturday doing music school there. And they were filming Mission Impossible. They were filming Mission Impossible. They were 70 years, one of them. It's like, what are they on 10 now? Hobbs and Shaw. Oh, I don't know. They were filming, it was in place, right? Yeah, Hobbs and Shaw, yeah. And it was really, really awesome to be around there. So we stick out classes to see if we keep going. And we came out, didn't get something, we did get to shake his hand and have a little chat. I was doing big in his hands. Was that very impressive? Do you know what's quite surprising though? So I was watching him doing the film shots, and he tenses all his muscles for the film shots. When he's not on camera, he is actually just much more like, he's not as jacked as he is on camera. I thought it was because he purposefully is like very tense on camera. Yeah. Like, show off the muscles and stuff. Because normally, when I know later, because I was bringing my shadow across the courtyard, and I bumped into him. I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. It's like, no, I have to be so sorry. Oh, thanks. And then I walk on my way. And, it's so cool. And it's really cool. No, I know. My mum's friend works for the evening. She always says that Dwayne, she's the first thing about well, she held an accident. Oh, Dwayne, he's very lovely. But she always says, like, obviously when he started out, he was Rocky Mountain, and he said he can never do enough to see. He said you can see that. There was a little bit of time when it kind of makes his head a little bit, and he's like back up. But have you seen the cop out as well in the UK? It's been the same before work. Yeah, no, he's in the US. No, he's UK based business. Yeah, I've got a couple more. I met Richard Branson as well. Formula E, yeah. Oh, that race is not a race. Oh, no. Formula E is very good. It's just basically a fake one. It's all a car circuit, just, with a car by someone burning. That's all it is. Relax. Formula E circuit. Relax. Anyway, walking across the bridge, and I say, listen, Richard Branson. I'm like, oh my god, it's Richard Branson. He goes, oh yes, hello. Looks like very busy. And he just goes, yes, hello, and walks past. Do you know what? That's a man like Rob who has, I don't mean to be disrespectful now, he's a brilliant kid. He's got the best business plan in the world. He basically paid to use his company's name. That's how it works what Donald Trump does. And obviously the brand's a little less attractive. It's hated, isn't it? Especially very much Trump. Well, it used to be very popular. Anyway, I put another one. Good. British celebrity planter. I used to work on a popular London theatre, so we do and select on a weekly basis. My strangest encounter has to be when I met Ollie Murs in the backstage toilet. I was washing my hands when he exited the cubicle. I noticed he kept looking at me in the mirror, so I smiled at him. And then he looked at me in the dead in the eye, and did a massive fart that sounded like someone saying, Ollie Murs. And while he did it, he opened his mouth to the mouth of the word Ollie Murs. And I swear to God, it was the most brilliant, random, disgusting things that's ever happened to me. We both burst out laughing after he did it, and it was so funny. He then left the toilet, and when I saw him in the bar about an hour later, he winked at me and Ollie Murs across the room, and burst out laughing again. Honestly, I can't stop laughing. It's even now as I like this. Brilliant. Brilliant. But you know what? I mean, I can't watch it. I mean, how people explain it that happens. Well, anyway, we're going to do the break, but that was celebrity encounters. Celebrity encounters. then we're going to cross the line. Foster will be joining us. Yes, the Minister of Working on Nancy himself will be joining us right after these ads.
This is Aisha. Her father died in an accident at a She lives with her mother and siblings.
I just looked around and like there was something before. Hey, radio's fucking. So we've got only seen so this is the guy. I mean that's non-British. And they've got more to do that. Oh shit, wow. Go on the left is very cool. Stay safe, guys. Thank you for yourselves. One day we'll be drinking actually. Tomorrow, of course, I need to know all your rock stories because I know you got. Cool. You think they're all about
in residential
I know it's interesting.
West London.
That's why I wonder. It's like I could have sworn.
Call us now on
If you want to visit contact
you can get stuck in the shop it's not everyone. Yeah, many people where you grow up. Listen, I was there before when young, like, people started having coffee.
Pakistani cuisine with every dish prepared to the not try our sizzling mixed grill, our favourites are the fish, choose from our selection of freshly baked meat, and allow the time and experience to speak for itself. High Road for all your events. Call us for more information. We offer free estimates.
Every Tuesday from 5 to 7. Henry Scott and Tom Hutch keeping you
On the radio, on your mobile, and online.
We cross over live to the Revive FM Sportatorium as we play a game with Brendan Foster.
This is Brendan Foster here. That's two fantastic news for sports here. And you haven't seen lots of music, or Andy Gary or Andy. But of course, we didn't have an amazing Tom Hutchinson there yesterday. So I'm going to pause my amazing co-host, Scott. Maybe I take back all those nice things I said earlier. It's the penultimate week. I had to make a really special game. And obviously, also, we could transfer deadline day, which basically hopefully means I can play this system makes sense. You know? Oh, so we're going to I thought I'd play a little bit of game with you, if that's okay with you, Mr. Scott. Yeah, that's right. Oh, really? Now, we're going to play your transfers right, okay? So, the transfer deadline is tonight at 11 o'clock, okay? Now, okay. We'll just do that. Transfer deadline is tonight at 11 p.m. So everything's going to be signed, sealed, delivered, and if you're sitting on the phone, and that's good to you. I like that. So the idea is that everything's going to be done in whatever comes the same way effectively. So we can't. Well, I can really trying to thought. I'm just trying to get this to actually repeat here. There we go. So what we're going to do is I'm going to give you a list of names. These are the top 10 most expensive transfers for this season, 2021-2022. Okay? So these are all happening in recent. So I need you to tell me whether they're higher or lower. Okay? So I'm going to start off with Ben White. Okay? He's just joined Arsenal for 58 million euros. I couldn't find the pound, so I do apologise. For 58.5 million euros. Okay? But did Rafael Varane, completely butchered that, considering he's just joined Manchester United as he is centre back. So the Ben White is also a centre back. Okay, so because the name you can pronounce his name, it sounds like it's not very well known. You say lower. You say lower, and you are in face. The next one, is it right? Yes, 40 million euros. So that's. I mean, that's still like that's still a lot of money. Yeah, that's a lot of money. But my argument is because someone on this has actually won this football match, including myself. So, what's your part? Where does that 40 million go? Between clubs or so the majority of it will go to the club that they are selling, and the player will get commission as well. They're not supposed to. I think they get like a signing fee, like maybe 1 or 2%. I think. But the idea is supposedly between clubs, but when they have things like signing bonuses, the agents as well, who go a little man, they will get something about something carried well, sort of like for sweeping deals and stuff, so that they would get kind of make it worth your time. Exactly, yeah. So yeah, it's supposed to be between clubs, but it will go between sort of agencies. Sometimes the public gets a small percentage. I mean, like Cristiano Ronaldo, for example, I mean, he would make his money along with just the merchandising sales. Right, okay, so we've got it's just not at the right for me. So 40 million euros is next, but did I know this one? Jadon Sancho. He just joined Man United as well. He's a winger. Right winger. He's a right winger. Now, was he higher or lower than 40 million euros? How many euros is it? Oh, well, 4 million. Jadon Sancho. He's joined Man United. He was originally Borussia Dortmund, I believe. So, 2 players joined Man United. Yeah. That's quite a few joined Man United. Well, honestly, no. You would be incorrect. That's higher. 85 million euros. What makes him worth 85 million? He honestly, he carried Dortmund through the Bundesliga. They didn't want to let him go, but he wants to come back to the account. He was, if I remember correctly, he was never in the Arsenal community or the academy, and then went out to Germany. Right, he's come out by next big sort of star, to take up to sort of like high levels. And yeah, he's come back and he wants to play for Man United, so he's got his wish. He's back in the UK Premier League, so he's Well deserved. Well deserved. What a man. He's a bit. Oh, mate, whenever he came on, we won our matches. We didn't play the Scottish match, we didn't win. And do you know what? He was also the most foul player in Europe. You're right, he gets so many different shapes, but you can't help but just tap it. Even in the world, just tap it. But I'm going to finish up on the song now, and I probably won't actually play this, but I have checked it. It is a World Cup for broadcast purposes. I want to say a massive congratulations to Paralympics GB. You're absolutely smashing it in Tokyo at the moment. And it's a shame we can't have crowds like it. But I want to dedicate this to you guys. So if you've been watching Channel 4's coverage, give it a watch. Watch the last leg as well. This is part of Gaming Hard than you think. I'm so ill. I'm stuck in my house. Well, we're going to take it for a Huh? Check on check. No, still breaking into this thing all that now, isn't it? Sometimes I just feel like doing push-ups. Well, it's not the energy bit. Sometimes I just like, I'll do push-ups. We had one. We did that really well. I don't know why I really like that song. So I think that's a little bit of a... Oh, thank you, sir. Yeah, well, that's quite the front of the start. But, you know, I also think that's a nice little thing for a young talent that you can also for us as well. Thank you very much for letting us do ourselves. It's time though, we say goodbye to you, and we'll actually join you next week, because it's the announcement of the last episode with Scott and Hutch. I know, we can only play it all like that. So, next week, John, Scott, some plans, and so I will go through that every single I've got to think of some stand-up. This is going to be emotional. But, ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned to the lockdown. We've got more great shows coming up. Here's the Henry Scott. Stay safe, keep covered, and we'll see you soon. Cheers. Bye-bye. Well, my stuff,